Welcome to the Social Landlord podcast, where smart investing meets peace of mind. Today we're back again with Ayub from Silks Investments.
Alois,
Ayub, thank you for joining us again.
it's always a pleasure. You guys doing a good job keeping this up.
I think last time we spoke, you were just coming up to your 20th anniversary for Silks. How have things gone since?
It's been 20 years since I opened Silks Estates. And I think anybody who's been in business for over 20 years, I think they should really congratulate themselves because it's a credit. To be in business for 20 years requires a lot of endurance. Endurance meaning mental and personal endurance, because it's very, very challenging. And most people, when they start business, I don't think they realize that they last this long. And what happens with most people is that they give up. I have been through a very, very difficult testing time. There's been many, many times in the last 20 years, especially in 2009, 2010, when we nearly came to the verge of bankruptcy. And
Along with majority of the country, I imagine.
Yes. I still remember having a conversation with my staff at the time, and I remember very, very clearly the conversation. And I said to them, it's been nearly just under 10 years since we've opened up right now. We were making a lot of profits. We're very successful. Now we've come to a point where this ship is actually sinking now. There's no money left to pay wages. We're making losses. But you have a choice. There's a lifeboat there. You can take it, you can jump out, and you can save yourself. But if you stay with me, I can guarantee you, I will assure you that I will sail the ship into dry water, into dry land. But you need a lot of patience, a lot of persistence as well. And at that point, all the staff decided to leave. And I think for them, it was the right choice. But that left me, I still remember, that left me in a very, very vulnerable, lonely position. And most people at that time would have closed their business down. Because it's easier to close a business. It's always easier to give up. That's the easiest thing to do. But I said to myself, I am not giving up. Because I believed in myself. And I think for talking to you guys as well, you're both in business. And for people listening, whatever it is that you're doing, the key thing is you've really, really got to believe in yourself and believe in your vision, believe in what you are doing, and never give up. We've heard it so many times, never give up, because there will be challenge. This is endurance. It's like a marathon runner. I was speaking to a marathon runner several weeks ago, and he goes, the amount of times when you're running at 26, you want to give up. But it's the endurance that keeps you going. Endurance is the ability to keep on going through difficult, challenging times, going through pain, overcoming pain, and just to keep on going. That's what's required being in business.
Sorry,
endurance.
you're going to kill the audio. We'll have to start that again, because he had to edit it all up last time. Start from your staff left you. Sorry, because we won't have the video otherwise.
So I remember it's about 2009, 2010, where we got to a point where we were making losses now. We had a credit crisis, and price of properties fell by maybe 40, 50% in some cases. Banks were not lending anymore. We were not making no money. And I said to my staff at the time that the business is basically going bankrupt. We've got no money left now. I've got no money to pay wages. And this ship is sinking. But you have a choice. There's a lifeboat there. You can take it, you can jump, and you can get out. Or you can stay. And if you stay, I will assure you that I'll get out of the situation and make sure I get this ship sailing into dry waters, dry land. They're all left, which I think was the right decision for them. So that left me in a position where I was very vulnerable. I felt very lonely, actually, because there's no one to turn to. Right? Not only that, but I was left with massive, massive debts as well. Massive debts. But one thing I had was I had the faith and I believed in myself. I had a very clear vision for Silks Estates. Very clear vision. That was to get to a position where we're managing in excess of 1,000 properties. That was always my vision. That was always my goal. And then at the time, I remember speaking to two of my other members of staff from my other business, where we had a telecom business. We closed it down, and Imran and Aisha, they came on board and they joined me, knowing full well that we're not making money, we're losing money, and they joined me on board. And since then, now, over the last 10 years, we've had new member staff coming, we've had the young generation coming in as well, and we've just grown and grown and grown. But it's that point where being in business, you'll come to a point many, many times where you want to give up. And that's the turning point. That's the decision you have to make, where if you really believe in yourself, you just keep on going and keep on going. As long as there's a demand for the product and service that you're offering, never give up.
I think this is probably one of the reasons why you are one of the more successful people in mentoring, coaching, things like that. If you haven't been through hard times, you know, if you've only been in property for the past 4 or 5 years and you're trying to sell someone a course and you've never been through the actual nitty-gritty, then
journey.
It's what are you advising on?
I think I agree with you, because I've seen so many people advertising online, and the difference is what I'm seeing with people advertising online, they're just showing a lifestyle.
Look, mentioning no names, because he sues enough people and he'll probably try to sue us as well. I think a lot of these gurus, mentors, coaches make 99% of the money selling courses to inexperienced people that, like you say, give up halfway through.
It's not even giving up. I think what we've got is we're in the property industry full on. We've got our own estate agencies, you've got our own development companies, you've got our own investment companies, and on top of that, you're still educating people. A lot of gurus out there, they just sell courses and they run your way. They've got no hands-on experience in actually how the property industry works. Yeah, they might be in a few rent-to-rent properties here and there, but actually having multiple estate agencies, having investment companies, having development companies, it gives yourself a bit of edge to them, where you can have 20 million followers, but it's time is money, and you can't educate everybody.
I've always had the vision. I said to myself, and I'm seeing you guys because you're fairly young right now, yeah? I made a decision in 2002, actually, to enter into the world of property. But I said to myself at that time that for the rest of my life, I will be investing in property and I'll be involved in the property industry. That's the decision I made. Also said to myself that later on in life, into my 50s, I'll be educating, mentoring, coaching people. Again, it's having a vision. And for me, I find it very, very fulfilling. I'm only interested in coaching those people that are genuinely hungry and they're passionate and they want to make a difference to their life. You'd be surprised how many people I turn away. It's not for them. They haven't got the time. They just want to make a quick buck and that's it.
And they don't put the effort in, and
they don't put the effort in,
and then blame you,
and they're going to blame me. It's not for them. So we're looking for people that are genuinely interested in making a life-changing decision. They're hungry and they're passionate. Because I was talking to one of my clients who's just finishing his 3-month coaching, hopefully in the next 2 weeks' time. I asked him a question, and I said to him, "Look, Sajjad, 3-4 months ago, you signed up to my coaching program. On a level of 0 to 10, what was your knowledge and confidence in property?" 0 means absolutely nothing. 1 or 2, okay, you're just starting up. He goes, must have been 0 to 1. Okay, that's fine. I go 3 months later, tell me honestly, where is your level of knowledge and confidence? It's a 9 or a 10. It's amazing. I feel so confident now. I'm talking to estate agents and landlords, and they think I know so much more than them. They don't realize I've only been there for 3 months. It's confidence. See, what is confidence? See, not having confidence is having basic knowledge. Once you have knowledge, you naturally become more confident. It's like, look at you two, right? You've been doing this now consistently now for 3-4 months.
The podcast.
Yeah, podcast.
Since January.
When you first started, how did you feel?
Alien.
Pretty awkward.
Awkward, right?
Yeah.
Uncomfortable. Now, you're natural. Not only that, but you enjoy it. Yeah, no, you become natural because your confidence has grown now. It's like anything else in life. The more you're doing something, the more confident you'll get by doing it. And this is what people fail. I've had some people come on coaching, and after 3 months, they give up. The point I'm trying to make here, when you first asked me the question about my 20 years of success states, we've had many, many challenges. I mean, many times where we've lost money. We've been on the verge of bankruptcy as well. Okay, I mean, not many people know this. Even I've been for years, we know this as well. But I'm going to tell you something right now. I'm talking about tests and challenges. I've had bailiffs at my door not once but twice. And that's the kind of challenge we're talking about here. But if you're strong-willed enough and you're very clear what you want to achieve, there's nothing that's going to stop you. I will share something with you, and this something I'll take away today is this, and I will tell my clients this as well, that the greatest skill you can manage in your personal and your professional life is the ability to manage your mental and emotional state. You must master that, and there's nothing you will not overcome.
I think something I've noticed over the past, 3 or 4 years, when you're looking at people, there's a lot of noise on Instagram and Facebook and stuff like that. Like you say, people that are just trying to sell you the lifestyle and not sell you the actual knowledge or anything like that. Something I've noticed from finding a few of the actual real ones amongst the rest.
Yeah.
Anyone that is successful or is on their way to being a very successful person, not necessarily religion, but they are always very dedicated to
Ethics.
to the self as such. Like you say, ethics, but I think more
Self-disciplined.
yeah, self-disciplined, your motivation, whereas I can barely get myself to the gym 3 times a week and they're up at 6 o'clock in the morning.
I think a lot of that
you know.
just come through self-discipline. You've got a goal in mind, and this, regardless what comes in your way, you're not bothered about the fame that comes with it. You're not bothered how many followers you've got on Instagram. You've got your own personal goal, and you want to get there by a certain time.
But it's discipline. Okay, but then again, you just said you need to go gym 3 times a week, right? But you can't make it. But then again, there's nothing stop you every month.
This is what I meant by once you break that cycle and realise it is all just in your head. The only thing stopping you from going is yourself and whatever else.
It's like every month you guys are here without fail. That's discipline. You're turning up on time. Yeah? You can do the same for yourself. It's discipline. That's what's lacking. Discipline. The most people is knowing what you really want. I think your decisions comes from what you really feel is important to you. Values. And we know we all need to exercise, eat well, be more healthy. But what stops us is not the fact that we don't know how to do it. What stops us is the story that we tell ourselves. The excuses we just say
it's
in your
fine,
mind.
I can do it tomorrow.
I'll do it tomorrow.
I'll start on Monday.
It's a story. So what you need to do is kill the story and not think too much about it, because the brain, it's a wonderful tool, the brain. But you can remember, the brain is designed to protect you. It's not going to put you in any position which is uncomfortable or risky. It's designed to protect you. So that's why they say, don't think too much, just do it.
Ayub's after the Nike sponsorship. And I know that last week we were discussing, or not last week, last month, we were discussing a couple of your agents that had made X, Y, Z money and were successful in working. I know that one of them has actually opened his own estate agency now. Again, I won't mention any names, but he purchases property in more affluent areas now. He's moved away from serviced accommodation or social housing. But again, that's just based on 6 to 8 months or 6 to 12 months of knowledge with yourself. He's now confident enough to open his own agency and work on his own and stand on his own 2 feet rather than streamlining behind yourself. How often does that happen?
Well, with everybody, because as soon as somebody finishes course with myself, at some point, my goal is to help them set it by themselves. I'm just here to give you the tools to get you started, really. And ultimately, you want to be starting your own property business, whether it be estate agency, whether it be full-time deal sourcing, whether it be full-time buying property investment for yourself. That's the idea. So for most people, I would say majority, 70-80% of people that come with me, they do start fully by themselves. But that's the goal. But not just that, because what they know is that it's not just a 3 months. Once they finish a 3 months course with myself, I'm still there to give them the support. So, Louis, the difference is I'm not just here to take somebody's money. I'm here to make sure that person who has faith and trust in me just become very successful with themselves, and I'm here to support them all the way throughout the journey. And that's the confidence they get, knowing full well they've got the support. Just yesterday I was talking to somebody. He came on my course with me last year, and he's been toying with the idea for over 5 years to invest in property. 5 years he was toying with the idea.
The capital growth on that.
And eventually last year he started on my coaching. Now he's telling me, you know what, I'm doing it full time now. He was telling me yesterday, I'm just doing my first deal for over £1 million. Which is brokering. He's making about £15,000-20,000 commissions. He goes, I can only say to myself, I wish I started years ago when you were telling me years and years ago. But it's full time now.
What we were saying in his last podcast, Kaz, was hindsight. Wonderful.
It's a great thing. People too busy waiting, too busy thinking about it. Like I said, don't think too much. You know what you need to do, just do it. Get on with it.
I think it's part of when people buy their first investments as well.
Yeah.
When they think too much or they're uncertain, there's too many questions, and then they just never make that first step.
Yeah. They're thinking too much. They're overthinking. Yes.
It's not a good thing is having too much time on your hands as well. You just end up thinking too much. Just make a decision, stick by it, and just see it through.
And figure it out. We've done that. I mean, we've spoken to my partners more. And I remember when we first started doing our development projects for supported living, which came to us purely by accident, actually. We weren't even aware. I'm going back in maybe 2020, early 2021, where all we were doing was just social housing lets. Okay, we get the standard LHA plus maybe 10-15%. That's what we're getting. We were not even aware that there's so much rent you can maximize on with the supported living providers and the commissioner support. And we came upon it purely by chance. We didn't even know. So I remember the first deal we did was Stockton Tees. We did not know when we first started, but we just started and we learned as we went along. If we were thinking about it, we'd still be there.
Falls back on experience. Yeah. You never get it if you never start.
You never start. You never start anywhere.
So is there anything that you're wanting to...
Yeah, for people listening. So we have our next event in Leicester on May the 11th at the Marriott Hotel.
From what I understand, you've got a competition going as well on the Silks page. Giving away some tickets to your next event in Leicester as well.
In a free session.
Free one-to-one session with myself. There's a free prize draw.
And how do they enter this competition?
First of all, by coming to the Discovery Day in Leicester at the Marriott Hotel. The information will be out there. Once they come, they enter a prize draw. And there'll be a free one-to-one session with myself for half a day.
Right, okay. Lovely. So we'll have to get a link to that and get that shared as well.
Feel free to contact us. You can share the link.
Okay.
Or just go into Eventbrite, find the tickets on there, or Silk Investments Instagram page. All the information is on there. I think these events happen every 3-4 months. So even if you are from Yorkshire, there'll be one in Leeds in the next 3-4 months. So we do keep moving around.
We normally have about minimum 3 events a year. But we've had a lot of demand from Leicester.
Yeah.
People in Leicester, Midlands.
we were in discussions we were wanting to do one in Bradford, but obviously they're using our development to film a TV show at the moment. So we've got people coming in and out in costumes, and things like that. So we've just got to let that get out of the way. But like you say,
yeah,
if you're not local to Leicester, then Leeds, Bradford, Yorkshire, there will be further ones to come.
Definitely.
Good.
Okay.
What's your one advice to give to somebody who's thinking of getting into property but is just scared to do it?
First, create a vision. Create a very clear vision of exactly what it is that you want. So, Luis, let me ask a question to you. Right? What's your vision?
He's on the spot now.
Yeah.
Let me ask a question, because if you haven't thought about it, you need to think about it.
I have thought about it.
So, okay, I'll make it easy for you. What's your number? Think of a number what you would like to earn on a monthly basis.
So I have a number in mind, and that is, I know how residual is,
Yes.
how passive is passive on property, not as much as you'd like to think, unless you're working in social housing as such, but I'd like to be able to make a passive income of around £10,000 a month.
So let's say...
Same number as everyone else.
So basically £120,000 a year, gross. Take your tax out, that's £100,000 a year. Okay? That's £8,000 a month net. Think of a number where... Have a vision where in X amount of years, you want to be earning annually an X amount of money, whether it be £100,000 a year, whether it be £50,000 a year. Start with a number. Have a very clear vision, and you've got to really believe in it yourself. If you don't believe in it yourself, if you can't see in your mind, you'll never achieve it. Because most people have what I call mental blocks or limited beliefs.
So something that I did maybe 3 years ago when I first started working with Ahmed and Mo, just to sort of hone in on what I actually wanted to do, was I wrote 50 things down on a piece of paper, 50 goals that I wanted to have.
My God.
Fast car, nice house, all the rubbish, and then chose one.
Good.
So out of all that 50, all the rubbish on there that you think, I want this now, I want the Ferrari, I want the whatever else, it all boils down to one of these goals will help you get the rest of them.
That's
or
right.
One of these goals isn't achievable without something else. All boils down to one thing at the end of the line. And that was to do with the knowledge and getting involved in the property industry.
Yeah.
I knew when I started, one of the main things I wanted to do was just work in property.
Yeah.
Didn't know what it was. Before I started with these guys, I went for an interview to work at an estate agent's. They were telling me what they were doing, what I'd be doing. 90% of it was sat on the phone, ringing people.
Okay.
Wasn't my cup of tea. I was already working in call centres, ringing people again, wasn't getting involved in property. Just because I was talking about a house didn't mean it was where I wanted to be. But yeah, I think definitely fine-tuning that and just getting everything out of your head, everything that you want.
Yeah.
And just choose one thing out of there that will help you on the path
It
to where
allows
you
you to
want
focus
be.
more.
Tunnel
Because
vision.
most people are too distracted. Our focus are too distracted. Once you've really focused,
they
for
want too many
example,
things at once.
So when I got to a point in 2009, 2010, we were just broke really. Because at that point, we were an estate agent, we were selling houses. We were not focused lettings and property management. And I made a decision to stop trading as an estate agent. And whenever someone rang me, I want to sell my house, I'd say no to them. We don't sell houses. We are a lettings and management company, so we focus lettings and property management. And I set myself a goal, a vision, to manage 1,000 properties. I thought I was going to overly achieve it in 5 years' time, which never happened anyway. So I failed many, many, many times. But the goal is still there. Once you set yourself a very, very clear goal, just keep at it, keep at it. It may take longer than what you expect, but you keep at it. But what's keep pushing you forward is your vision and that one goal. Because we achieve that one goal and everything else will fall into place.
Ayub, thanks for coming. Guys, been a pleasure.
Always welcome.
No doubt we'll have some more questions in a couple of weeks.
We'll do.
We'll have you back, I imagine.
Hopefully, yeah. Guys,
Keep at it. You guys do a very good job.
wherever you're
Thank you very
watching,
much.
listening
Keep
to
at
this
it.
podcast, please follow, like, and subscribe.